So today I will show you how you can rough cut your videos 10 times faster. I will show you the step-by-step template that I use, my super easy to use shortcuts in Premiere Pro, and a secret AI tool that saved me hundreds of hours. And quite frankly, I think this video is the best video on how to cut footage the fastest way possible. You will not find a better video anywhere else. So let's get started. So first thing I'm doing once I receive the footage, and of course once I read through all the scripts, either in Notion or the Google Docs script, I go ahead and use my template. So I'm gonna just copy and paste my template onto my desktop for this video and just name it test. So I'm gonna rename the whole folder and I'm just gonna drop it here right below my favorites so I can access this video project really quickly. And then what I'm gonna do in this template folder, which I will explain in a second. I want to also make a video about my template folder in the near future, so let me know if you guys would like to see that. So what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna rename the Premiere project file to test01 rough cut. And once I rename the Premiere Pro, I'm just gonna open it and just locate basically all the files that is missing. And once I open up Premiere Pro, you will see I have all the folders set up here, all the resources already in Premiere Pro, so I don't have to import them manually. I go ahead and I drag my footage into my footage folder. So in this case, I have only one piece of footage, which contains my audio, my screen recording, and also my face cam. But if you work with multiple files, you just drag the screen recording, the audio, and the face cam, and whatever not you need to rough cut into the footage folder, and whatever graphics like screenshots or whatever music your client wants you to use, that you will just drag into the graphics folder. This is what the graphics folder is here for, but as I said, I will get back to these in a separate video. But for now, what I'm gonna do is just drag the footage folder into Premiere Pro project, basically importing the footage. And once that is done, I'm just gonna take the footage and just place it on the timeline and keep it in existing settings. So this is what it looks like. It looks a little bit confusing. I have many audio sources. I'm also just gonna delete all the audio sources until I have one. I just want to have the audio from my microphone, because OBS records my microphone audio, my desktop audio, records my screen, and also my face cam separately. And what I'm gonna do next is I'm just gonna go ahead and align all the footage in Premiere Pro. So I'm just gonna separate the screen recording and my A cam. So just gonna cut right where we start with the video. And we're gonna also make a face cam. So this is the face cam. And what I do for face cam is just making a little bubble and then just holding shift to make this circle, giving enough headroom, making it small. Also, of course, have the anchor point around in the middle, make it smaller, place it in the corner so the bottom and the right is perfectly aligned as well, so it looks good. So once we have the A cam on the top, the face cam on the middle, and also the screen recording at the bottom, what we're gonna do after that is we're gonna go ahead and select the A cam and also the audio, the main microphone audio, and just color it. I use the tan color just to be able to separate the footage and not just have like the whole timeline in blue, okay? We want to separate the footage on where we use face cam, where we use the A cam, and for the face cam, I'm gonna go with green. And for the A cam, the audio, and also the B cam, I use the tan color. And for, of course, the screen recording, I just leave it on blue. Okay, after that is done, I like to add some effects on my audio, like on my microphone. And for that, I'm just gonna go with parametric equalizer. Boom, add the effects to it that make it sound really good, like a tube model compressor as well. I'm just gonna also make it a little bit louder, like +3 decibels. So if you listen to the video, this gives it like a podcasty feeling. So you are not having too much bass, so you can actually understand what I'm saying. And it brings out the best about this really good microphone. That's also expensive. So yeah, once everything is set up, everything is aligned, we can start rough cutting. And for rough cutting, I have a secret AI tool that I want to show you that not many people are talking about, but I have been using it for the past, I think, 6 months now, and it has been game changing in terms of speed and also efficiency and also quality as well within the pacing. And this tool is Autopod. So Autopod is a tool that costs like $30 per month, and you can also have like a 30-day free trial, so you can genuinely just go ahead and just try it out for free and just see for yourself how good it is. What it does is makes jump cuts, which I will show you in a second. It also creates social clips, which I have not seen or used yet, but it also has a multi-camera editor. So if you have a podcast with 5 different cameras, it can switch between cameras on its own. Like it sets the cuts on its own. So let's get back into Premiere Pro to my footage. So what I like to do is I will just deactivate everything except for the audio and the A cam. And also one thing I would not suggest you to do is like please do not color or set any LUTs to the footage or add nothing to it and no adjustment layers that make your whole timeline be slow. Because if you use Autopod and everything is like heavy files, it's like heavy 8K files, then it's going to take so much more longer to rough cut the videos. And with that being said, just try to deactivate everything except for the A cam and for the audio. So let's use the jump cut editor. I'm just going to set to -34, 01, 01, and the padding to 02. And then I'm just gonna press, create jump cuts. There we go. And once it is encoded, then it starts actually chopping up the footage on its own. And it does it really, really fast because the footage is not that large. It's 1080p footage, and it's also, a lot of things are deactivated. What you could also do is maybe render it out in proxy first, and then it's maybe even faster than that. So first it sets the cuts, and it does all by itself. I have not pressed anything else since I've created the jump cuts. And now you can just sit back a little bit and just wait until Autopod is cutting up and rough cutting your footage. And now it removes all the silences once it's chopped up the footage. And one thing I also want to mention is just experiment with the settings here. I found out that this here works for me the best, like remove silences over 0.1 seconds. Yeah, so this is what I found to be the best for my microphone, my audio settings, because it cuts up all the stuff based on the audio. So when something is too silent, it cuts it off. So this is where it cuts it off. This is the baseline. Remove silence over. I don't know what these settings do mean. I just set them to the lowest, 0.1 seconds, and I just keep padding just to not have this really harsh cutting, so it has some room left over. Because after this tool is done, we have to go through the video once again and just rough cut it and nail the pacing. So yeah. These are my settings, and now that it is done, you also have a backup sequence. So in case you don't like it, you can just go back to this sequence and just delete this one. And I'm just gonna drag and drop it into sequences. So let's get back into this timeline. You see it is everything chopped up. And as I said, there is still some room here that we need to rough cut now. So now I'm going to show you the keyboard shortcuts that help me to rough cut the videos super fast. And these are enable, ripple, trim, ripple, delete, and add edit. So I have binded and enable to the one key. What this does is it just helps me to enable and disable all the clips. And then I have ripple trim and ripple trim on Q and W. I will show you both of these in a second, but I will also show you what you should also add. So yeah, if you want to add enable first, then you just type in enable here and just go to enable here, and then the shortcut, just set it to 1. And then once you've done that, you want to go ahead and set ripple delete. So you type in ripple delete, and then you set the shortcut here to F. This is what I found to be the best for me, and also really easy to remember. So, and then this is the best one, add edit. We're gonna search for add edit, and then we're gonna shortcut it to C. So this is really good. I also have a different command which I do not use too often, but it is cut. This one, where I press Command and X. So let's say cut, it's this one, cut, Command and X, but I don't use it too often. It helps me sometimes, but I just tend to press, delete here instead of, make a cut like this. So with that being said, having enable, ripple trim, and ripple delete and edit it set up, we can go to the timeline. I will show you what these keyboard shortcuts do and why it helps you to save so much time. Because normally you would just go to the razor tool and you would just cut here and then here, and then you would just select it, delete it with the, with the backspace, and then just press another backspace. What we're going to do is we're going to use W now. I'm going to show you what W, ripple trim forward, does. So you want to go to this place where you want to cut off your audio. So basically I want to cut off everything that is after my blue line here. I'm just gonna press W, and it deletes everything what is here on the right side. You see? So if I want to end it here and delete everything that is this here, then I'm just gonna press W, and it deletes everything up until this point and just leaves it everything what is behind this point. So now I'm going to show you what Q does. Q is actually almost the same tool, but it removes everything what is behind my blue line here. So if I want to delete everything that is behind here up until the next clip or the clip before, then I'm just going to press Q, and you have only this left on what was on the right side or after my blue marker in that sense. So yeah, and what does F do? Because I showed you one is enable and disable, but what does F do? So F is ripple delete. So if you select this footage and you don't want to have this footage because you messed up something, or you also want to delete this footage, you just press F. And what it does is it not only just, deletes it, but it also deletes this space up until the next clip. So you see, if I also want to delete this one, I'm just going to press F. And yeah, so what does C do? C is add edit. So rather than just using the razor tool, what you're going to do is just go ahead and just press C. And you don't even have to select anything, but it makes a cut to everything below here, like everything on the timeline. Or if you select this one, you also just make it cut to this footage here on top. But basically what it does is it's just like a razor tool on steroids. And then you can also just go ahead, make a cut here. And if you want to remove these little sounds here, you can just ripple delete with F. What this allows me to do is I'm just gonna nail down the rough cut and the pacing of the video super fast. Like I'm just gonna go through the video and edit super fast like you see here. It's not sped up. This is actually me removing silences, removing mistakes, or whatever I do not want to have in the final video. And of course you can just go through the video and see for yourself like what pacing you want to have. But if you don't want to mess with, razor tools, with setting cuts, and you can just go ahead and set these shortcuts and rough cut your footage. Yeah, so what you will notice is you will get used to these shortcuts really fast. So I challenge you to actually use these shortcuts for your next project you're working on. With this tool and with this shortcut, what you will notice after only one project, you will be probably the top 1% rough cutter in terms of speed in the video editing space. So yeah, these are the tools that you need to be the fastest rough cutter. And once I have rough cutted the video, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna plan the animations, I'm gonna animate everything, go through the video, add screenshots, whatever. And then once that is done, I'm gonna add the music and then the sound effects. And with that being said, if you have any questions regards these tools or anything else regards video editing, you can just type it down, of course, in the comments, or you can just go into the Discord, which is linked down below. And then you can just go to video suggestions or anything general and just ping me, of course, any time of day, and I will get back to you there as well. Also, if you have anything that you edited and you want to have also feedback given to that edit, like for example, this dude sent me a 1-minute short and I gave him this big of feedback. So I'm happy to help you guys out. And yeah, I will see you there. With that being said, God bless you all and have a nice day.